Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys Press Stocks. How I'm doing?
And I'm Vinny. And holy crap, for those Alibaba shareholders, we got some interesting information. I'm going to talk about the China trade a little bit too, and what is going on with Alibaba stock that may actually underpin the stock and change the tides finally. Maybe.
Ooh. It's
Okay.
like the fifth time we've said that.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, it's like, what's that thing about insanity? Yeah, that's me. Yeah, okay.
Eventually, we're going to
um,
be right. It'll be
yeah, eventually.
2045.
What's funny? As time goes by, I'm actually becoming less concerned. I'm more and more convinced in my own theory, which means I'm probably should be admitted to a psych ward somewhere. But that's my issue.
I agree on both accounts.
Yes, I love it. Have you ever seen like this chart before? Does it look vaguely familiar or not really?
I have not seen this.
Okay, so this is based upon a Bank of America survey of portfolio managers, and what they're basically asking is what is like the most crowded trade in the market. And long mag 7 is the most crowded trade in the market. And it kind of ties in with some other stuff we're going to talk about in another video. But short China equities is number 2. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's very interesting now that we're approaching maybe a pivot point where we saw this week with finally CPI achieving like a negative number on a month over month basis, that the Mag 7 had like a not so great day, that the Russell like 2K small cap index literally took like the reins off and went up 4% over the course of 2 days, which is another video we did, and I am looking to be right maybe on that one. Um, and then the other thing we saw was we got like a nice little bounce out of Baba over the last few days too. So maybe we are starting to see these crowded trades unwind and reverse, which is kind of cool.
Possibly. So, based off of this chart, it looks because it's February, March, April. So, gray, blue,
Mhm.
dark blue. So, Magnificent Seven is becoming less crowded. Less people are shorting China, though there's a little bit of uptick. But it's really Japan equities. More people are piling into that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's something Buffett was well ahead of on too. I can't remember if we did a specific video about that, but it's definitely been
We did.
mentioned. But yeah, over time, we're going to start to see a rotation away from the most crowded and popular trades towards things that are less desirable. And Alibaba's been in the background doing the right things during this entire time period, right? So up 8% over 5 days. So, good size move. It's a move. It's still in like in their typical or most recent channel, I guess you could say, on a month over month basis of 5%. It's not a significant move. They kind of have been vasculating around this level for quite a while, as it begins to hopefully coil up. But what I want to say is that Alibaba management has been super diligent and actually putting money where their mouth is, now that they've had this kind of regime change. So this is now the third quarter where we've received this information, right? Right after the quarter closes, they're putting out a press release saying how many shares do we buy back, right? Over the previous quarter. They're not waiting until earnings like they had done previously. They're doing it like a separate press release every single quarter immediately after closes, effectively. So
That is
this is
pretty
the
cool.
release we got. Yeah, the transparency is great, and they're really showing you that they're trying to return their massive cash reward and their continual cash earning power back to shareholders and use it appropriately. So in the quarter that just ended, they had repurchased. It was equivalent to 77 million ADSs. 5.8 billion US dollars were used in repurchases in the most recent quarter. All right, that is 5.8 billion. Okay, their trailing 12-month free cash flow was like 22 billion dollars. So that would be effectively everything that they earned in the quarter, approximately. If last year and this year are about the same in terms of free cash flow basis, right? They do highlight here that they had a net reduction in shares in one single quarter of 2.3%. Okay,
So
you know what that
they
says to me, Dylan?
that's pretty incredible. That's a lot.
If they keep doing this for like 38 more quarters, you and I will be the majority shareholders of Alibaba.
One, awesome. Two, okay, I'm gonna be a downer here. Look, awesome. 2.3%, super cool. How is the average price 80.80? They have been under 75 for almost the entire quarter. They had to have bought like at the worst. I mean, it's still awesome. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Yeah,
nitpicking now,
yeah.
but like,
Well, I don't
it's an
remember
extra
if it's
ten
in the press
dollars.
release, but it was somewhere where they mentioned that all right, these purchases were made in both the U.S. and Hong Kong with our share repurchase program. I want to say I read somewhere that part of the story was that it was a like direct sale transactions that they were engaging. So they were buying it directly from large institutional shareholders rather than just simply being on the
Okay,
market. So maybe they're not getting us quite a good deal there, which is kind of interesting why they chose to do that. But
Got it.
I don't know. That's above my level here. This chart is pretty cool too. This is going back for about 2.5 years here, looking at the share repurchase per quarter. This will be the dollar figure up here in the top row: 2.1, 3.3, 1.91, 3.1, 1.7, 2.9, 4.8, 5.8. Does that
Yeah.
not show to you a commitment in repurchasing shares aggressively at these current prices?
This is exactly what we complained about in the September and December quarter when we did videos, was that they had so much authorized for share repurchases and they weren't doing it. And that time the price, I mean, it was almost the same. I can't remember, but it was very, very close. So
Yeah.
in 2 quarters, you have almost 4% of the company bought ish.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I mean, I have to go back
kind of
and do the math,
crazy.
but probably over that. Yeah, they still have $26 billion in authorized for share repurchases left remaining. Right.
Oh,
I wanted
jeez.
to show you just this most recent quarter if you want to slide yourself over here. So this is from Macro Trends, just to show you how aggressive the step down or increased pace of their share repurchases were on a quarter over quarter basis here. Look how ridiculous that looks.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Man,
Yeah.
good job.
Do you remember another company that like has done something like this in the past really aggressively, and it did well for shareholders because of it?
Are you purposely not showing me the company right now so I have to
Um,
guess? I'm going to go
yes,
Apple.
that's Apple. This is
Okay, cool. All right.
this is Apple's share repurchase or shares outstanding over time. Just showing like the absolute like power that can happen, particularly when the company is significantly undervalued. So you're still looking at back here in this kind of phase for Alibaba. Yeah, I know you're not comparing apples to apples. Pun fully intended there.
Oh, God.
But it is still really cool to see just the power that can ultimately achieve for shareholders. And I think that under the new management, they're being really aggressive. I love it.
That was the wrong button. I haven't used
Yeah.
that soundboard in a year. It was supposed to be the boom. Damn it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. When any time someone throws out a pun like that. So we're gonna update this with the most recent next earnings when they come out. They actually haven't even announced the date for their earnings yet, which is pretty typical for them. They'll finally announce it and then it'll be reported within a week or two of the date where they plan to. But this is from the most recent quarter. Don't forget, like I said, this is at $22 billion free cash flow in the trailing 12 months. So that's a company that really has a lot of money to deploy, continually flowing in for these share repurchases. $6 billion almost this quarter, but they do have this massive cash hoard. There was a news article a while ago about they did a special share, what do you call it, debt offering in order to repurchase shares. Now, Alibaba management's talked a little bit about this in the past. Is there's some concern about the CCP and whether or not they'll allow all that $62 billion almost in cash to go offshore for share repurchases. One of the ways they can kind of work around that is that Alibaba could basically take debt on with one subset of their entities and use that for share repurchases and then pay the loan back with another entity. So that's kind of the question or thought process behind them leveraging up in certain areas of the business. I believe this is just my outside stupid guy interpretation of what's going on, but I think that's why they do that, or to buy back shares aggressively as possible and get as much of this money offshore and back towards like shareholder value and pockets, hopefully. So we'll see.
So, quick question. They spent 4.8 last quarter, 5.8 this quarter. You said they have 25 billion left?
And authorized, yeah, $26 billion in authorized repurchases through March of 2027, I think.
Okay, that was my question. Was it through 2027? Okay, cool. Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot. Okay.
I mean, in the next couple of quarters, you might see an announcement of them upsizing the share repurchase program. That's always nice.
Yeah, that's great news. 2.3% of the company in 1 quarter. That's crazy. So that's great for me.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at like 390 shares. I don't remember what you're at, but I have a little bit of JD too. But man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
They're finally doing it.
Oh, little JD too. But think about it from this point. You own almost 400 shares. By their repurchases alone in the last quarter, you basically got another 8 shares. So eight
Yeah,
times eight would be $640 in like value
yeah.
that was returned to you.
I much prefer that over dividends forever. So way better use of
Yeah,
capital, in my opinion. All right, guys.
in my opinion. See you later.